Ministry of Education, Ministry of Commerce, and Nation Group together organized the ASEAN 4 Regions in Bangkok tour with aims to educate Thai youth, teachers, educational personnel, and high-ranking officials in Ministry of Education of the Asean Community 2015. Activities such as a seminar about ASEAN, the ASEAN Smart Teens competition, and the ASEAN Quiz competition are arranged to let students take part in the project. Education Minister Dr. Suchart Thada-Thamrongvech presided over the opening ceremony of the project with the participation from officials in the ministry and representatives from schools around the country. Booths about ASEAN from ASEAN corners in many schools were set up. Students dressed in traditional costumes of ASEAN nations and performed traditional dances. Education Minister stressed the importance of ASEAN integration. The students need to know about other ASEAN countries and think of ASEAN as a whole region.
You have to think about the whole region. You have to seek the standard of the region. You have to know how to label it so that you could benefit from the integration.
The minister said that universities in Thailand are expected to move the beginning of semester to September in line with other universities in the region, but this will not be applied to elementary and secondary schools. It is stated in ASEAN Blueprint that the working language of ASEAN shall be English. To better language skills for students, the Ministry of Education plans to import English native speakers to teach students and set a budget to subsidize salary of English-speaking teachers.
For the Ministry of Education, we will set up a budget for every school who would like to employ English teacher. We will subsidize partly the salary which they're going to pay for those teachers.
The ministry also plans to encourage students to study other ASEAN languages and Mandarin Chinese apart from English. As stated in the interview, the goal of Ministry of Education by the time of 2015 is that Thai students will be able to communicate in Thai, English, Chinese, and other ASEAN languages.
When you see it as students coming in, then they would be able to speak, apart from Thai language, 2 languages.
Meanwhile, Professor Dr.Chira Hongladarom, Secretary General Foundation for International Human Resource Development, voiced a concern that Thailand is still not ready for the ASEAN Community 2015. He said there are a lot of seminars about ASEAN, but none of them address to the public how they should adapt themselves to gain the benefit from the integration. He urged that language, virtue, intellectual capital, sustainable capital, and networking will be crucial in preparation for ASEAN Community. He further stated, people, especially in educational sector, should rely on themselves instead of the government for preparation to 2015, as there is always be a change in politics. Dr. Chira suggested several ways to prepare for ASEAN Community 2015, which are identifying where we are in ASEAN, making a direction where the country is heading to, and laying out strategies for these upcoming 3 years and the future after the integration. He emphasized that more importantly, one must obtain the concept of internationalism, professionalism, and attitude of one vision, one community in order to compete and survive in the ASEAN community of over 600 million people in this foreseeable future. Aravitang Mi Sang, reporting for ASEAN Newsroom.